Stitch Cuties. I'm Brittany.
And I'm Julie.
And together we're the mother-daughter duo of Stitches of Love. Welcome to Spoolie Bird. It's Spoolie Bird time. I love it. Are you so excited?
I am, yes.
Oh my gosh, I know that you all are just eagerly anticipating your very first box. And we're going to tell you all about Spoolie Bird and how you can register to get all of the fun stuff. Yay! Okay, so first off, tell us about the history of Spoolie Bird. Now we have a video that goes through the full history, and we got to share a lot of fun
just
stories.
A little tiny synopsis?
Just a little tiny, a little nugget.
Okay, Spoolie Bird actually started our company because I was making a mug rug at a retreat where I was attending, and people kept asking me for the pattern, which there wasn't, of course, at that time. And so a nice lady said, you should really sell patterns, and so that's how it started.
And
Since
so
then,
we did.
This is now my 6th version of Spoolie Bird. And actually, Brittany thinks it's my best version.
I feel very confident saying it is.
I really like this one too. So
there's just even more details that you've added to it that make it very special.
It's just a little more fun than.
And also, it is made with Lori Holt fabrics, which really, I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
They speak to Spoolie Bird.
They do. They speak Spoolie Bird language.
Yes. So if you've seen Spoolie Bird in the past, what's different about this one? There's one block that's different, but it's also pinwheels in these open spaces. These were open blocks on the others, which is because I wanted to use a certain quilting design from my long arm machine.
Oh, but I love how you quilted this, and we will tell you more about that.
It was real cute. But then the setting triangles are done with the pinwheel blocks as well as the corners. And then the border's slightly different. But
the appliques are just all a little bit like updated, if you will, and the fabrics just make them so happy and bright. Mm-hmm. And the entire color palette is just, I mean, how can it do anything except make you happy and make you want to sew it?
It warms your little heart.
It warms your little heart. I love it. So there are 2 ways that you can complete this block of the month with us. It's a block of the month program that's 14 months. So the only decision you need to make, because we know you already decided to join in on the fun. I mean, how can you not make the quilt? So now you just have to decide how you want to complete your applique. So there's 2 ways. One, you can do the classic version, which is how Mom completes the applique, and that means you use your sewing machine and your favorite buttonhole stitch or your favorite applique stitch to complete the stitching. So meaning the stitching that goes around your individual applique pieces, you'll use your sewing machine. The second way is to use your embroidery machine, which is my personal favorite way. So we each have like our own favorite version. So the embroidery machine, what we've done is taken Mom's original artwork and then I've digitized it for your embroidery machine. And that means the embroidery machine builds the applique unit for you in your hoop and stitches along every single applique piece and does the embellishment lines for you. So the embroidery machine, that will complete your applique for you. You will still use your sewing machine to complete the paper piecing and your blocks and to create the entire quilt.
Well, since you mentioned paper piecing,
let's hear about it, Mom.
Can I say something about paper piecing?
Yeah.
Okay, so I wasn't a great big fan of foundation paper piecing just because I found it a little bit difficult sometimes to make sure that I had the right size fabric, etc. So I decided that to do these mini 1-inch half square triangles, paper piecing was going to be the best alternative, but we do this with a 2.5-inch square, so it completely covers your square. There's no way you can't mess up.
Exactly. There's no way to like flip over and be like, well, where did my fabric go?
There's not enough. So there's plenty. Yep. You will have a lot of scraps left over from that. You can toss them or do whatever. And
or keep a jar, because they're really cute, a jar of all your scraps.
Your little colors. And then these pinwheels are also done with paper piecing because I figured why not? They're going to be perfectly accurate. If you use the paper piecing.
And so when you're doing something like this, especially on your setting triangles and your corner triangles, you can have a bias edge. Using the foundation paper piecing, there's none of that issue.
Well, it's stable because it has the paper on it.
Exactly.
Keeps it stable, so there's no stretching and ruffling, and it just makes it a really square quilt.
If I can brag on Mom, your quilt is like legit, actually perfectly square. That's a huge thing. You know, when you take your quilt to the long arm or when you start quilting it yourself, That's a huge accomplishment. I'm just
Thank
saying.
you.
And I think a lot of that came from, well, of course, your skill, but the foundation paper piecing throughout.
Paper piecing really helps.
Exactly. So if you're not familiar with foundation paper piecing, do not worry a second about that, because we'll have a video tutorial that shows you how to do that. If you are maybe not super well versed in sewing machine applique, there will be video tutorials, and we already have video tutorials on our YouTube channel. I know it sounds crazy, but if you go to our mug rug playlist, that's everyone's favorite, because it covers how to build applique units, how to do buttonhole stitching, and then of course the binding tips, which are our most popular videos of all time. They really are.
Huh.
Yeah. So
I like my binding method.
It's really good. So we'll have that for this quilt too. But of course, if you've never done the applique and you've never done foundation paper piecing, don't let that scare you, because we've got you covered. And if you are familiar with foundation paper piecing and maybe that scares you because maybe you weren't successful with it in the past, like that's how I used to feel. Like when Mom said we were going to do foundation paper piecing, I was like, no. And then I did it Mom's way, and I was like, oh my gosh, everyone would be obsessed with foundation paper piecing if we did it this way. And basically the trick is to have more fabric than you need.
It just makes it
That's the trick.
easy.
Yeah, exactly. And so we give you the fabric
Foolproof.
ready to use.
Can you tell that me and Jack the Ripper are not the best of friends?
As in the seam ripper. No seam rippers allowed.
Yeah.
But we'll have tips for you throughout that entire process. We do also get questions a lot, is if this is good for beginners. Now, maybe I wouldn't make this the very first time you touched a sewing machine.
No, but I would
But you
say
can conquer it.
if you're a confident beginner, this is definitely easy to do, because
Exactly.
it's done in increments monthly. That really helps. And you do have your project bag to practice on first.
Let's talk about the project bag. So no matter when you join, you're going to get a starter box. That's a starter kit. That's what you pay for when you initially join. And then from then on, no matter when you join, you will start with that month's box and go for a series of 14 boxes, and you will have everything you need. You'll never have a need to like catch up and get past boxes. We always start you with your first box. So tell us about the project bag, because I'm obsessed with this bag.
I decided that as you're making your quilt, you need somewhere to put your blocks, or at least some of your supplies. So this bag is 12 inches square, or 12 and a half, I can't remember. And it has, we include the zipper. We include everything for you except the batting. You have to get your own
the
batting.
only thing you'll need is batting.
So on the front is a scalloped white rectangle, which is reminiscent of the box. Actually, this is a lot like your box.
I was going to say the box was designed first, and then the inspiration
Yeah.
for the project bag came after
from
that.
The box. And so then we have the word Spoolie Bird, which will be laser cut for you. You don't have to cut all those little curves and everything. And then the bird. Now, it is smaller, but it does give you some good applique
practicing.
practice. Of course, it will be digitized for you if you have
Yeah,
your
if you're doing the
machine.
embroidery files, you're going to complete this part in the hoop of your embroidery machine, but you're not going to actually complete the whole zipper bag in your embroidery machine.
Just that part. And then, of course, on the back, we have half square triangles that will be foundation paper piecing as well. And so you can practice doing that here.
And we give you extra pieces of the foundation paper piecing papers so that you can just grab some scraps if you want to on your very initial time and
just
practice, and then use your fabrics in your kit. So you'll have practice. That's the reason we do a starter project with the majority of our block of the months is so you can practice before you work on your first block.
Yeah.
So speaking of blocks, we are going to show you what box ships in what month. So again, no matter when you join, you're going to start with your first box and complete a series of 14. So now what we've done, we've created some nice graphics to give you a little idea of what you can expect in your boxes, no matter what month it is. So the first one we're going to talk about is not necessarily the first one you receive, because again, you get your box in the month in which it is. So the January box is going to include this cute little pin cushion block, and it includes 2 setting pinwheels. Now the setting pinwheels are the little pieces at the top, and we have that highlighted in the graphic for you so you can see. So that month you're going to do a variety of paper piecing, applique. It's going to be a lot of fun. Then in February, you're going to create 1 spoolie block that's highlighted for you, and you're going to create 1 pinwheel block, meaning this whole center pinwheel block will be completed. Then in March, do you want to say some of them, or you want me to keep going?
You keep going.
I'll just run through them for you. Okay, so then in the March box, you're again going to complete one spoolie block and you are going to complete 2 setting pinwheels. Now, if you're hearing all this and you're like, how will I know what I should be expecting? We do have a cheat sheet for you in your starter kit where you'll check off every single time you get a box to ensure that you have everything you need. Now in April, you will have 1 spoolie block and 1 pinwheel block. Mom's gonna be Vanna. I like this. Let's have
My
Vanna.
sweater got hung on the chair.
Oh, did you get stuck on the chair?
So I was like, whoa.
Then in May, you're going to complete 1 spoolie block and 2 setting pinwheels. I don't know if you can see that.
Way down here.
The one with the snail, it's super cute. And close-up pictures again are on the side of the screen for you and also available on the product listings. You're gonna have a detailed layout so you can see all the blocks up close because they're just so cute. Then in June, you're gonna do 1 spoolie block and actually all 4 setting corners. So the little pinwheel corners, you're gonna do all 4 of those in that month. And again, that's why you have your project bag, so that every month when you finish whatever, project or whatever pieces you're making that month, you put it in your bag, and that way you don't lose anything. Because that would be sad. You don't want to lose anything. Then in July, you're going to do 1 spoolie block and 1 pinwheel block. So cute. Then in August, another spoolie block and 2 setting pinwheels. They're highlighted on the screen for you too. We're trying to point and have it, but we have that graphic up there for you. Then in September, you're gonna do 1 spoolie block and 1 pinwheel block.
This one and maybe this one.
Maybe this one. It's on the screen.
Yeah.
Then in October, again, a spoolie block with the butterfly and then 2 setting pinwheels. Then in November, we have a spoolie block and a pinwheel block. And then in December, you have 1 spoolie block and 1 pinwheel block. And now, here's where we're entering our finishing kit zones. So after you've completed your first 12 months in this series, your final 2 boxes in this series, it's gonna be a 2-part finishing kit. So part 1 of your finishing kit box is going to be tons and tons, as in yards and yards of fabric that creates this adorable checkered border that goes along the outside of your quilt. Now, if you're wondering how we create that, we do strip sets.
Yes, because they're 1-inch squares.
And then so that's just a really easy way to get the nice variety in it and to easily complete that where it's nice and accurate too, where it's nice and straight.
Yeah, but you're not stitching 40 inches.
No, yeah, you don't have to cut 40 individual or like 60 individual little 1-inch squares.
Yeah.
Mom did that easy for us.
I like to make things a little bit easier if I can.
Absolutely. And then the second part of your finishing kit, your final month, the 14th month, is where you get, we're calling it your diamond borders because it's the diamond fabric. So it's your outer border and then your second inner border. And then you're going to get that really cute Lori Holt scissor fabric that has little scissors printed on the pink. And that is your first inner border and also all of your binding. And then what else you get in your finishing kit? Buttons, and these are the Lori Holt buttons that match the fabric line that we're using in this block of the month for you. And there's approximately 100 buttons in this. They're all kinds of fun colors and sizes. And if you'll notice in the pictures, exactly. And what I love is that you did all kinds of variety of sizes.
However, my buttons are not the exact same buttons because
these hadn't come in yet when you made the sample.
Yeah. So these are different, but
you'll have the actual Lori Holt.
These are super cute buttons. I mean, some of them
look at that.
The way they've got little what is that called? Like an orange peel.
Yeah.
Curvy cut in the buttons. They're just adorable.
And some look like they have little like stitched indentations along the edge.
Yeah, they're super cute.
There's close-up pictures again of every block. Lots of different pictures of the quilt, pictures of the button kit on the product listing so you can see up close how they all look. Now I know a lot of people are going to ask about what kind of notions make this easy to complete. So we've prepared that for you as well. So the first thing you'll want to have, so of course the button kits are included. You don't have to buy that separately. That's in your finishing kit because it's very important, I think, that matches. So when we're doing the foundation paper piecing, this is not 100% necessary, but after having used this ruler, I would say it's like 99.9% necessary. And that is the add an 1/8 ruler.
Yes, and it's basically, mine's on loan to our
Our quilter.
our quilter. And it's a little green ruler about 6.5 inches long, and it has actually another lip on it that is 1/8 of an inch. And so when you butt it up against your seam that you've sewed on your foundation paper piecing, you can then trim it off and you have 1/8 of an inch seam, which gives you much less bulk here than if you had a 1/4 inch seam.
It really is amazing.
It makes it really nice.
Especially on pieces this little. And again, it's another tool that is fairly inexpensive and adds a lot of accuracy to your...
And we didn't include it in the box because a lot of people, like me, I already had one.
A lot of people have them.
So we just felt,
yeah,
if you need it, we'll have it for you.
Exactly. So we have those. You can order that. If you order it right when you order your, when you initially sign up, we'll ship it together. If you are charged shipping separately for that and we're shipping it in the box, that will of course be refunded. Just want to make sure we answer that if you buy something separate and we ship it together, because you do get free shipping on your block of the month, which we haven't said. If you're in the United States, your little box, there's no additional shipping for you. Your box ships for free every month. Well, you have to pay for the box, sorry.
Can we tell them how
You have
much
to
it
pay for
costs?
what's inside. That's all listed on the product listings. So the prices varied based on if you're doing the classic versus the embroidery. So you'll just take a look and decide which version you want to do. But there's no additional shipping charges on your box every month, which saves you a bit of money.
Did we tell them what it cost each month?
No, because I don't remember it. It's on the product listing.
Oh. I don't ever know that, so.
I usually know, but I don't know.
No help.
But again, you'll click the link to the product listing and you'll know the price. We don't remember the price. But you get so much fun stuff in here. So let's keep showing the notions, and then at the end, we'll open that little box for you. So you get a little preview.
One of the next things that everybody always asks for is
thread kits. So if you are doing the classic version, meaning you're using your sewing machine to do that applique, then you are going to use the thread kit. Oh, well, they were nice and flat. They got a little jumbled. So this thread kit has 10 spools of thread. So if you're doing the classic version with your sewing machine, you're going to want to use a 30 weight thread in your needle and a coordinating matching thread that's 50 weight in your bobbin. So there's 2 thread kits for the sewing machine version. You have that 30 weight thread kit and you have your 50 weight thread kit. And again, the reason we don't put them together is a lot of you have maybe a bunch of 50 weights and you're new to applique, so you don't have 30 weights or vice versa. So I would recommend purchasing both unless you have a giant thread collection already.
Yeah, and one of the wonderful things about this is these are on the petite spools, the 30 weight that Sulky did specially for us.
You can only get those at Stitches of Love.
And I'm so thrilled with it because you guys are loving it, and I so appreciate that because I thought it was going to be something everybody would like, and I'm so happy everybody does like it.
Well, the main benefit of, you don't necessarily need like one of the king spools or a larger spool for completing your applique project, and getting the smaller spool keeps your price point really nice and low.
Yeah.
So you can buy more fabric and more block of the months.
and more thread.
And more thread. Yeah, you can have more colors with the thread. Are you falling off the chair?
No, I keep getting hung.
I almost fell off the chair too. We're quilters, not videographers, so apologize if we fall off the bar stools. With those 30 weight and 50 weight threads in your sewing machine, you recommend these needles, Mom?
Yes, those are organ needles, and they're 90-14 is the size that you want to use if you're using 30 weight thread.
Exactly. And then with this, the good thing is you never need to adjust your tension. You've never had to adjust your tension.
I haven't had a problem with my tension. Now, some people may on their machine, so that's.
But this needle really helps.
You have to be the boss of your own machine. I can't help you with your machine.
What? That's like being technical support for a printer. It's impossible. Okay, so now if you're going to do the applique with your embroidery machine, then you are going to want your 40 weight thread kit. So it's the exact same 10 colors, but it's in the 40 weight rayon threads from our friends at Sulky, and they are a dream in your embroidery machine. I love them. And then the needle that I recommend on your embroidery machine are the 7511s. And these are, oh my gosh, actually earlier today, I was sewing on my embroidery machine and changed my needle out, and it just makes me so happy. And I love that these are, well, you know, used to, in my mind, you have to buy like needles in bulk and stuff. I love that you can get just 5 in a little pack, and it's like, I don't know how much they are, $5. They're very inexpensive for all the needles. So grab a pack or 2 and you'll be set.
I'm not even sure that they're that much.
I don't know what they cost, but they're not much. I remember when we started carrying these, we were like, are you sure you're charging enough? Yeah. They're a great deal. That's a great deal on needles. It is. Okay, so now additional notions that you may find helpful. We have what we call the perfect stack. And the reason is because it all stacks together in a perfect stack. Mom, you want to grab the perfect stack?
The entire thing?
The entire perfect stack. Let's go for it.
Ugh.
We don't want to not show you the whole perfect stack, right?
It's heavy.
It is heavy, but you stack it on your table. Okay, so one of the first things in the perfect stack, we're going to start from the bottom of the stack and go up. So that is, sorry Mom, we're making you do some arm exercises today. So this is the light pad that I use. Look, it's dusty. This is truly my perfect stack from the video tutorials. And I love it. Look how thin this light pad is. I mean, it's just amazing. Look at this, no cords, and it's on.
Mm-hmm.
So you can charge it with a USB or into the wall. That's included with it. And there's 3 different levels. So if you're doing the embroidery version, the only time you're really going to use your light pad is when you're trimming your blocks, but that's a very important part to be accurate. If you're doing a classic version and you're building your applique units and then you are using your sewing machine to complete that, you pretty much have to have a light pad. I mean, it just makes it so much easier. So we really recommend this little guy. And there is a tote that we don't mention in the slides, but there is a tote that holds it for you if you ever
travel,
get to go to retreats again one day. Okay, and then Mom, I'm gonna let you talk about this because it's your all-time favorite. I'll be your Vanna and you talk about it.
This is a glass mat that you can put on top of your, oops, I turned it on top of your light pad.
It just lays flat on top.
So you can put your applique placement guide down underneath and then put your applique on top of this, and you can iron on it.
With your fusing mat.
And that way you can see where to put everything. It
is game changing. If you are doing the classic version for applique, you want this. You really, really want this. And you can use it with any light pad. This is, how big is this? Like 12 by 16?
18 maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, approximately 12 by 16. So
16.
It'll fit on top of your, pretty much any light pad.
And then your light pad also comes with this, right?
Yeah, this comes with the light pad.
Which is a cutting mat.
Which I love.
And if the grid lines bother you, we do offer this
in
a clear, so you don't have any grid lines at all.
But this is the one that comes with the light pad. And if I can just show real fast too, my favorite.
You want this?
Yeah. You know what I do? I put my placement guide, when I'm trimming my blocks, I put it on top of my glass, on top of my light pad, and then I put my cutting mat on top. And look at this. When we say perfect stack, it's a perfect stack. Look at that. I know.
And then
it makes me happy.
When you're building your embroidery units, or your applique units, excuse me.
Yeah, this you need for classic.
Are you going to talk about it? You talk about it.
Oh, okay. So this is what you put on top of the glass, and so you can iron, you can build your units. You can watch some video tutorials on our channel to see what we're talking about, but you put your applique units on this and you iron it so that when you actually move it to your fabric, your unit's already put together and is perfect.
So in other words, you have like a little floppy Spoolie Bird unit that you can then put
right on your fabric.
Yeah.
It really, again, it's all about increasing accuracy and making it easy. Now, you can't have your perfect stack without your Steady Betty. And again, this is truly my perfect stack that I keep in front of my embroidery machine. So you can see this little guy gets a lot of use and I love it. See, this is the side I don't use, so it's still nice and gray.
But it's nice, it has 2 sides.
It does, it has 2 sides. This is the side I always use, and I use this thing every single day. So I like this whether or not I'm doing the classic or the embroidery. And this fits right in front of my embroidery machine, and my hoop fits perfectly right on top of it. And I love it.
And so that you use with the iron, your little
my little
steam
iron.
fast.
Oh, I'm not showing my iron in the video today because it's hot, because I've been using it and I didn't want us to accidentally burn ourselves in the filming of this video. So this is the little box. It is the steam fast travel iron, and this little guy, well, I can't say enough good things about it. It's perfect for little pieces. It's great inside your embroidery hoop.
And the one that I use, I'm still using the original one that I had, which is at least,
gosh,
I think the first time I used it was at Paducah. When did we go to Paducah?
I think that was 2014.
Yeah.
So that's 7 years,
It's
almost
7 years
7
I've been
years.
using it. Now, it does do steam, and it does steam quite well. I typically don't. If I'm going to steam, I have a big Laura Star, so I use that.
Yeah, I don't steam with mine, but you can.
You can. And it does well steaming. I've done that.
Because you don't want to steam your applique is why we don't do that.
So, and then the other thing with embroidery that you must have.
Oh, yes. So to do the embroidery version, you need to have an 8-inch by 12-inch hoop. This is just a standard hoop that came with my machine. So if you don't already have an 8x12 hoop, just reach out to where you bought your embroidery machine, and I'm sure they'll be happy to sell you an 8x12 hoop.
Or lots of people just bought a new machine.
Do you know how many emails we get of people that buy new machines to do this?
It's amazing.
I know. We should sell them, but we don't.
No, we don't sell machines.
No. Can you imagine how much work that would be? Oh, yeah, be nice to your dealers. They do a lot of work for you for those embroidery machines. Now, the stabilizer, Mom and I use the exact same stabilizer, whether you're doing classic or embroidery. Tell me about why you like it.
Because it's called Easy Tear, and it actually is Easy Tear.
Yeah.
It tears away from the edge nicely, and it's light enough that it doesn't distort your stitches when you pull it away. I mean, I'm still gentle with my applique, but it really doesn't distort your stitches that you work so hard to get on your piece. And it does give you enough stability to work quite nicely. I mean, I'm very impressed with it.
Even in the embroidery, my main thing when I started testing this to see if I was going to like it for the embroidery side as well, I was concerned that because it's like, I'm not going to open this one, but it's like almost see-through, and so I was like, oh, that's going to fall apart. No, it doesn't, but then it does still tear away easily. So no matter what, can't say enough good things about that stabilizer.
Yeah, and this is Sulky. It's called Sulky Easy Tear.
Yep, and we have that on, all of this is available on our website, stitchesoflovequilting.com. So anything that you don't already have in your Notion stash at home when you're joining the block of the month, just add it to your cart and we'll ship it all to you together. Scissors. Now, I'm gonna let you talk about scissors because I grew up obviously in the home of a quilter, so many a times I've gotten in trouble about scissors, and now I respect them.
Yeah, but these are wonderful scissors. These are Karen K. Buckley scissors, and this is the medium size in the blue, which I think if you could only get one size,
I'd go medium.
Go medium. If you can get them all, get them all.
Get them all.
You will have a use for all of them. There's a tiny one. I don't know how long the blade is, but the scissor handles are green. I use those an awful lot. The wonderful thing about these is how flexible these handles are. They really, you can sit there and like if
it never hurts your hand.
It just doesn't hurt to cut with them.
I mean, all your pieces are pre-fused and laser cut, so all you do is just like do one little bitty snip to get them out of the larger piece they're in. But still, you might as well have comfort the whole time.
And these have a serrated edge in here, so they kind of grip the fabric as you're doing your manipulations. They're wonderful.
And did you say this already? They're sharp all the way to the very tip. And I even use these to trim my threads in my embroidery machine. Yeah. Because I hold my threads at the beginning, and so this trims it lovely.
And they all come with a little cover to protect the blades. However, we mostly...
I was going to say, I couldn't tell you where my covers are. They're good to know where they are from when you travel.
If you're traveling especially.
Exactly, because they are sharp. And then, did we say everything in our perfect stack?
Did we tell them about the buttons?
We did tell them about the buttons. Okay. Did we do everything?
I believe we have.
I think we did. Oh, no, we didn't open the box. Well, we're not going to fully unbox. We're just going to show you the care in which it's packed.
And I just love it.
And did we show y'all the box? I can't remember if we showed you the box.
Look at this.
Is this your favorite box?
I say that every time.
I know, every time we have a new block of the month, I love it more.
I really do like this box. I mean, look at that.
So obviously it mimics the quilt with the half square triangles. And then fun thing about the actual design on the box, these are Mom's sketches of the Spoolie Bird and stuff, and then Libby took it and made it into like the background of the box. So it's really special. And don't y'all think that would be a good fabric? I want that as a fabric.
When you open your box, Brittany will read to you what it says.
It says right here, well, hey there, Stitch Cutie. You have to say it with a slightly southern accent for some reason.
And then you'll see we have this pink.
Raspberry pink tissue.
Raspberry pink tissue with a yellow sticker that says Spoolie Bird. And
so
as
cute.
Brittany said, we're not going to open it up, but you'll have all kinds of good things in there.
Yes.
Which include, on your first box,
your starter box.
Your starter box, you get this nice little guide. And the guide has, of course, some welcome to our club. And
from us
tells
to
you some important things, and then it answers some frequently asked questions. And then it shows you a little synopsis of some of the notions here. But the most important thing about this is where you can, as you receive your boxes, you can check it off that you received it. It helps you keep up with it.
And you have like the cute little Spoolie Bird of the block right beside it, so you know exactly which box you have and what month it is.
Yeah. And
then I think we've covered it all. So now here's what you've got to do. You're going to click the links provided and you're going to go to a landing page. It's going to again give you some of the details of this video, and it's going to give you even more details. So the only decision you have to make is if you want to do it classic with your sewing machine for your applique, or plus, which is the embroidery files for your applique. And so decide which version, and then you'll sign up, add any notions you need to your first box, and we'll get them out the door to you as fast as we can.
And we just hope that you'll play with Spoolie Bird with us. We've had, I think we've all had fun with Spoolie Bird.
Well, every time we do a new quilt, everybody loves it. This one is somehow even more special. I don't know how to put it into words. It's got Mom's original design, like zhuzhed up to be even more special with even more details. We've got awesome Lori Holt fabrics, and we should mention that all the fabrics are 100% quilt shop quality. They're 100% cotton, and there's 2 fabric brands that we're using, and that is of course Riley Blake. We're using confetti cottons from Riley Blake, and of course the Lori Holt fabrics from Riley Blake.
Basic line.
And then we have a little bit of the Bella Solids and the Blossom print, I believe, is in here. And then, yeah, the Blossom print is in here. Yeah, that's Riley Blake, not United Notions. So the birds themselves are Moda, and then the rest of it is Riley Blake. So you've got just beautiful scrumptious fabrics in your box every month. Don't you think?
I like them. I had fun with it.
It is a lot of fun. I personally can't wait to do the embroidery with you every month. And are you excited to stitch every month?
Yes,
Mom might be making. Mom's probably not going to stitch every single block again for you, but you're going to stitch a bunch of them.
I'll at least do. This is pretty much the same regardless of the fabrics, but we'll help you with some other tips.
Exactly. So in the meantime, while you're waiting on your first box to come, go on and explore our YouTube channel where you can get a little feel for some of the tips that Mom and I have already shared on that channel. So again, we can't wait to sew with you and join us for Spoolie Bird.
Yes, we do hope you'll join us and have fun with Spoolie Bird and stitches of love.
Yay! Happy stitching!
Happy stitching, everybody!